Hello everyone, welcome to Added Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels for Monday. Today, after getting a huge gap up, we did get a nice up move, but we have failed to fill the gap down that we had on this candle. We'll be seeing the 15 minutes level, but on the daily chart, I just wanted to show you that, see, this is the all the lines that you see here are the EMAs. This pink line is the 200 EMA. We kind of went below it and we have come again above it with a strong candle. In case we go up this trend line that we had, right, this kind of this head and shoulder pattern trend line, we might face some resistance here. Even if that is broken, then this gap would get filled. Other than that, there's nothing much on the daily chart. If you look at the 200 EMA on daily chart, whenever we have come below it, we have quickly reversed on the upside. So not sure if this quick reversal is going to come on the upside, or we might fill this gap and come down. We will be seeing those levels. Now why, and just looking at the global markets, as of now, it's about 9 o'clock Friday. The US market has opened and it is trading higher. Dow Jones is trading higher. The European markets are trading higher. Now, why the markets have recovered even though the war is still going on? The sanctions that was put on the Russia, right, does not include anything to do with the oil or the gas. 60% of Europe gas comes from Russia, and the sanctions have not touched the gas sector. Everybody is like cunning in their own way for their own benefit, because if 60% of the gas for entire Europe is cut, where will Europe get the gas from, right? So conveniently they have not put sanction on Russia for the gas commodities, because that would affect Europe heavily. So that's the reason even the crude oil, if you see the commodity section in all, even the crude oils, most of the crude oils like recovered in the sense they fell. They were trading about 105. See, basically if crude oil trades lower, it is better for us, right? So it was trading about 105 and everything has come down, all because of that one news. Now coming to our levels for Monday, see, we have this two nice gaps which is pretty close by. One is this today when we gapped up between 35,200 and 35,700. The other gap is this gap down that we had from 37,300 to 36,600. See, today we got a nice up move. If somebody had traded this up move, it was pretty good. And this down move also was expected, but it was choppy. We had shared this down move analysis in our Cosmo Feed group, that if the previous day high doesn't break, we might reverse. And I'd also shown on 5 minutes we are taking resistance at the gap boundary and the 200 EMA. Exactly, we took resistance and came down. Yeah, but this was choppy, but we came and hit R1. So now coming for trade possibility for Monday. See, if as of now SGX Nifty is indicating a 150 point gap up, right? Again we are getting a huge gap up. Now say we get a gap up above this, like say we get a gap up above this previous day high in this gap, we might like just hover here and the momentum might start coming on the upside. The first possible resistance is this trend line that I've drawn, this black trend line, that is nothing but on the daily chart, this trend line, we might take resistance there. If that breaks, we might go until R2 or even fill this gap. And we also have this black trend line coming from the top. I'm just going to shift to an hourly chart because everything is extended. See, this trend line, it has taken resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the fifth time when we come here, if we come on Monday, we might take resistance here and probably even fill this gap, come down and probably take resistance in this area. That is one possibility. So the best entry, like obviously the best entry would only come in the intraday. Nobody can predict the best entry in advance, but I would be prepared for something like this. If the gap up, the SGX Nifty, whatever is indicating, and this is only the market, the US market has just started, okay, and we don't know what is going to happen over the weekend when it comes to the war news, right? We have 2 days left, Saturday and Sunday. If something dramatically changes in the war, again getting a gap down is also a possibility, right? So we'll just see the possibility for two scenarios. One is if we get a small gap up, okay, we might take resistance again in this area where we have taken resistance today and come down to CPR and take support at this level. If this level breaks, we might even hit S1. So this is one scenario. The other scenario is get a huge gap up, say throughout the weekend nothing significant develops or no news comes from the war, we get a big gap up. In this gap area, we might see some possible retracement, like retest of this trend line or something. It might happen very quick, like today. See, today we opened here, right? We came down and then shot up, right? So something like that. If we retrace and get a strong signal at this previous day high or this R1, now say we gap up even, say more into the gap, say some kind of a reversal comes intraday, either at this R1 of CPR or the previous day high. If we get a strong, like a good bullish candle on 15-minute, I might think of going long, probably until R2 or even this trend line as mentioned. That is one scenario. The reversal is as mentioned if we gap between this CPR and this previous day high, right? There's high possibility we might reverse from here, depending on how we gap. And in case we get a gap down, now say for some reason some news come, we get a huge gap down, right? Again, this place is where we can take a support. Now say we gap down somewhere over here, we might come take support, like how we went up and took resistance today at the gap. So there's a possibility we might come down, take support at this gap and again bounce back. That is one scenario. Either way, we will enter only based on a good strong bearish candle, and also possibly look if RSI can give us a good signal. That is one thing. And say we get a gap down and come into this gap territory, there is a chance we might fill this gap and then bounce again. So even this is possible, right? So there are nice two gaps to trade for us, and this might not, there's very less chancely on Monday we will open and just remain in this range. If Monday, if it remain in this range, then Tuesday is a holiday, right? March 1st, Tuesday is a holiday. Let me just double check, I'm sure. So in case we get a flat, like remain sideways on Monday, then probably on Wednesday or Thursday we might see this gap filling either on the upside or in case we come down on the downside. So there's a good chance to obviously the premiums are high, the VIX is high and the premiums are high, but there is a chance for a big move. If this gap has to fill, just see the amount this gap can get filled. 600 points. So even if we trade around 400 points in this, it's more than enough. Now say for some reason we come down, if this gap has to fill on the downside, it's about 500 points, right? So there is a nice chance to make money on Monday or Wednesday. So we'll just have to wait and see. If we remain within this gap, like say come down, take support here, or go up again, come down, then that will be just an intraday move. There is no prior planning that we can do for that. And Nifty is also behaving the same way. So my plan for next week, either on Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, wherever, Wednesday or Thursday, would be to see if I can try and catch this gap move. This gap fill will happen, if not in one shot. This gap fill will happen in Nifty and Banknifty. So that's what I'm looking at. See, in Nifty, we went into the gap but could not sustain. We have come down. So again on Monday, if we go, the first place where if we go into this gap, get a gap up and start going higher, the first place where we can take resistance is this level, because we have taken support here and we have taken support here. So we could possibly take support here. Even if this level breaks, then we have the CPR R2, this red line. And I've not put a line here, but why? Because the R1, R2 is exactly here. And again, over here, we can take some resistance. Even if that breaks, probably, yeah, we'll go and fill this gap. And if somebody gets a nice move, right, like say we enter somewhere here and the market keeps going higher, when we fill this gap, always exit your profit. There's 60% chances that from here that intraday reversal might come from a gap, okay, after filling the gap. We have seen that happening even in the past. Even in my analysis I've shown this is how the gaps are traded. So in case this gap gets filled and you're in a good profit, don't wait for the gap to break out and go even higher. Just book profits and we'll be done for the day. That is my plan. And on the downside, it is similar to Banknifty. If we come down, if we get a gap down for whatever news, if it develops the war news on the weekend, we might take a support here. If we come inside this, there obviously there is S1, and also this entire gap fill is possible in case we come down. So that's it for Nifty and Bank Nifty for Monday. Looking at the open interest in Bank Nifty, we have a good resistance at 37,000 and a good support at 36,000. This can be the level that can give us nice money, 36,500, the strike price that can give us nice money. And obviously it's just Friday and this might change completely on Monday. So we'll have to see. There's nothing interesting in the option chain in the open interest. And in Nifty, it is showing there is some good support at 16,700 because a lot of OI has been added today a little bit. A very good support at 16,600. Some support is getting built up at 16,700 and a very good resistance at 17,000. So we have all those levels in our chart. 17,000 is exactly this gap fill. That's why I said if this gap gets filled, if somebody gets a good entry, okay, R1 previous day high breakout, somebody entered, you got a nice momentum. Over here, even though this R1 other pivots are there, just exit. There's high chances of market reversal from here. Even the open interest is indicating the same thing. See, there's a huge resistance at 17,000. Even the calls have been added today. So that's it for Monday. Hope this helps. If anybody is not on this Cosmo Feed group, please go ahead and join. The link is there. It will be there in the description below. What I do in this group, the analysis is over. I'll just share what I do in this group. I don't give live calls like by 600 put, 700 put. It's more about technical analysis. I'll be posting charts like this where some possibility can work out, and today it did happen. See, I posted this and it's not that whatever I post will be correct. Even it can go wrong, and so that's when we take stop loss, right? But if I see anything good, like a good resistance level coming or anything with the open interest, like today I did show that, I did mention even the open interest at 36,500 is showing a good support. So that's the reason that intraday fall that came could not sustain, because the OI was being added on 36,500, creating some sort of support. So something interesting that comes up, I'll be just sharing. So it's not for just because I mention it's resistance, you can take a resistance. If somebody who doesn't know much about technical analysis, they are learning, probably these kind of things will help in live market, not for taking the trades, but for learning. So you will know that there's a gap, there's 200 EMA taking resistance. So when you keep seeing charts like this, right, it will definitely improve the technical analysis. So that's why I'm just sharing it in this group. If anybody is not part of it, just click on the link description, download this app, Cosmo Feed, and this will be my group. It will take you directly to my group. Thank you. And in case if you like this video, please hit the like button.